Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Recently I've been grinding a lot for the eternal legendary gears of Tempest class. That is because I honestly think that these eternal gears for Tempest are absolutely amazing. Currently we have 8 types of eternal gear for Tempest, and in this video I'll showcase each and every type of eternal gears for Tempest. I will show how these gears stack up when you use multiple gears of the same skill. How will these look in the battlegrounds? On which essences these gears work and on which it does not, because there are some essences on which these eternal gears are not working. I will also point out some actual bugs and visual bugs for some of these gears. Finally, I'll let you know my thoughts on which are the good ones and which are worth using. So every skill will be time stamped, so if you are looking for a particular skill, you can skip to that. Do subscribe if you enjoy the contents of the channel and if you appreciate the time and effort put into such extensive videos. Now let's get into each type of eternal gears. First, we start with the Vortex skill. I'm using the overflow, and in overflow you get a big circle. Right now if you check, my Vortex does not have any magical attributes. None of my gears have any Vortex eternal gears. So without eternal gears this skill looks like this. So you can see the radius of the skill. It touches these particular corners. Now I'll be standing here and I'll change my gears. Now I have changed my gears so that 3 of my gears now have Vortex. So right now if you see the Vortex, it says the range is increased by 24%. So now again if I play this skill, you will see that the range is not increased. It is still in the same, the radius of the skill is same, but the skill actually says that the radius is increased. Now you might say, Sid, maybe the radius of these, these water geysers which erupt from the ground, these have increased. So for this also I have tested it. You can see in the screen side by side, frame by frame, if you see any increase in these geysers radius. So I'll play this again and you can pause this many times. The increase in the radius is hardly any increase. My skill literally says that the range is increased by 24%, but for this particular skill it is not. I do not see any increase. Maybe there's slight increase, but I don't see any significant increase in the radius. But this does not mean that this is completely useless gear. See, there's another Vortex Essence charging current, and I'll do a comparative screen by screen, and you will see that the radius of this particular skill is currently increasing. Now with the Vortex and with internal gear and without internal gear, you can see that the radius is increasing. So this is, I think, a bug, because actually the radius of the previous Vortex should have also increased. Either the size of the full circle or the size of the geysers, but that is not the case. So that is all about this Vortex eternal gear. With each gear you get 8% increase. With 3 gears, if you check the skill, it is basically a 24% increase. Now we move on to the next one, and next one is the rolling surf. Now everyone uses rolling surf, right? Rolling surf is amazing. You get to move around very easily and with increased movement speed. So when you use this rolling surf without so when you use this rolling surf without any eternal gears, it will look like this, and when you attack, it will attack like a helicopter, right? So this is with this particular essence flooded stream. Now if you equip these rolling surf eternal gears, you'll see it causes your primary attack to launch water blades as enemy, dealing 213. So I have 2 of them equipped. This is 4213. Now I'm going to equip one more rolling surf, and now you can see this is 4209. Bit weird, right? But don't worry, there is a visual bug. Now if you come to the skill, here you will see some actual values, because now it says causes your primary attack to launch water blades at enemies, dealing 12,000 something something. This is from the 3 set bonus. Now if I remove this 3 set bonus and make it 2 set, it will become 8,000 something. Here it is 8,426, because with each of these particular eternal affix we are getting 4,000 something, 4,000 damage, like for my resonance, I mean For my resonance, I'm getting 4000. If you are a whale, it will be much higher. So I'm getting 4000, and if I stack this, it is just going to triple the value. So now it is going to look like this. These, you see this blue range skills, primary attack. So I think this is amazing for PvE. For PvP, if you are using rolling surf, I think this eternal gear is going to be of great help. Keep in mind, when you go inside this battleground and now if you check the values, now it has reduced. Now it says 10,000. It was 12,000 earlier from the 3 stacks, right? Now it is 10,000. Why it is 10,000? Because my damage number has reduced. Because in PvP the damage is, compressed. It's not striped, it is compressed. So with the compression of damage, these values will also reduce, and here also you can see their values are reduced. So that is all about rolling surf eternal gear. So now we move on to the next one, and that is the flowing strike, and this is a very common essence for PvP, and some are even now using in PvE. So if we look at the eternal gear of rolling surf, it says grants a shield which absorbs 46,000 damage for 3 seconds. This is huge. By the way, this is for the 2 set. Let me remove one of these, then I will see how it scales. So now it says grants a shield that absorbs 47,000 damage. So again, this one has some visual bugs, please ignore that. Flowing strike, it is going to grant me 47,000 shield. But if you come to the skill tree, the skill, it says it is going to grant me 47,000. Perfectly fine. Now how it is going to scale when you stack these? Flowing strike, let's do flowing strike. Now we have 2 flowing strike eternal gear, and now if we see 47,000 becomes 93,000. So it has doubled. Just from 2 set it is 90,000, and my total health is basically at 300k. So if I stack 4 of these, it is going to be 180k, which is more than 50%. This is like 60% shield if you have 4 of these. So I think this particular essence is going to be insane. But wait, there is more to it. If you look at this gear here, it says 46,000, but in the tooltips it says 97,000. So let's see how much it is. I'm going to use it right now. You can see my shield value over here. So this much. So is this looking like 1/3 or is it looking like 1/6? If you ask me, this is not looking like 1/3. 1/3 should have been somewhat more, because see, 90,000 of 300, that is very close to 1/3. If you have 100k health, you get 300k total health, that is 1/3. 3 times of 100k, right? So 300k and I have 93,000, very close to 1/3. So ideally my shield value should have been 1/3, but it is not looking like 1/3. It is also not looking like 46,000. It is more than 46,000, which is clearly given on my shield value. So I think the values here are a bit strange, although worry not, this gear still works, and it works amazing. It is just going to double the values. Now this is the shield value with just 1 piece. You can see this is just the shield value. Now I'm going to equip the second piece of this, and now you will see where is it, this one, and now the shield value has increased. So this is how it is going to stack. With more shield value you can get, I think easily 40-50% shield you can easily get from this if you have all 4 of the equipped. So I think this is definitely worth trying to grind for, because this is actually very good. People ask a lot of the time that is it worth replacing your magic at these eternal attributes with better attributes like critical hit chance. Now I was very lucky to get critical hit chance in both of my flowing strike gears. So if you want to see how I got this, you can check my Oblivion Pillar video, which I'm going to link in the top right. But right now I'm saying that if people say that is it worth sacrificing critical hit chance for this, I think for flowing strike shield, I think this is a yes, because shields are very important in battleground. Survivability is very important. So that's my opinion. Let me know what you think about this using eternal gears in battlegrounds. Now, speaking of battleground, let's see the shield values at battleground. In the tooltip, it has already decreased because the damage number has decreased. Like the damage number is compressed in the battlegrounds, even the life values. So this has decreased definitely. Now, if you check in the tooltip, it was 93,000. Now it is 74,000. That is again due to damage numbers. But now, if I'm going to use this, you see the shield value is lot less. So is it getting strifed, or is it like 37,000? Because see, the value is so less. Now is it 37,000 shield or on 250k health? Is this looking like 10? This is actually looking like 10%, like 25,000, something like that. So something is wrong with this. I'm 100% sure this particular thing is bugged. The values which are shown here are totally incorrect. Now we move on to the next one, and that is the Stormfury, another important essence for PvE and maybe for PvP as well, because this is going to empower your primary attack damage. So if you check at the Eternal gear for Stormfury, it says increases your primary attack speed by 15% for 3 seconds. Now Stormfury itself is a buff, so obviously it is going to activate Vithus. Now increase in attack speed by 45% if I have 3. So basically for each of these Eternal gears, your attack speed is going to increase by 15, 15, 15. So if you're trying to make a build on which you are going to try to utilize primary attack damage and you want to max it out to 100% attack speed, I think this particular Eternal gear is going to help you a lot, because most probably you will be using Stormfury in your primary attack builds, and Stormfury, and with this particular Eternal gear, I think it is you can replace some other things like some other essences which are going to increase your primary attack speed. Keep in mind, this will not show in your character sheet because your primary attack speed is not shown here. Here you can only see the attack speed, 22.5%. Now if I activate this, and now I'm going to check it, 52. This is because of Vithus, and the extra attack speed from Stormfury is not shown in your character sheet. Now I did do a test of this Stormfury using this Eternal gear and without Eternal gear, and with Eternal gear I was getting much higher damage than without using the Eternal gear. So definitely there is an increase in attack speed. Next we move on to the next skill, that is Cascade. And the Cascade Eternal gear says range increased, and for each of these basically Cascade Eternal gear, it says range increase by 8% if you have 3 of them. 8 3s are 24%. So if I'm just going to test this, I'm using one of the Cascade's essences, and you can see the radius right now, right? And now I'm going to reduce this. Now you will see that the radius is a bit smaller than it was before. So yeah, there's an increase in the radius for the Cascade. Now let's test this with the Cascade of the this PvP essence Cascade, which actually stuns people. Cascade now causes you and your Zephyrs to release a crushing wave. So basically this is for PvP, and this maybe a lot of people might be interested in this. So if I use this Cascade, you can see the radius right now. I'm standing right here. Okay, so this is the radius, and now I'm going to change the gears. Now I have equipped 3 Cascade gears, as you can see, and now if I see my radius, it has increased. It works for the PvP essence as well as for PvE essence. Now we move on to the next one, that is the Windwalk. So for Windwalk, the Eternal gear says that restores 1% of your maximum life every 0.5 second up to maximum of 6 times. So it is going to restore your health for 6 times and 1%, so that is 6% totally, right? But how it is going to scale? Is it going to increase the maximum number of times, or it is going to increase the maximum life? So if I have equipped all 4 of the Windwalk from legs and everything, and it says restores 4% of your maximum life for up to maximum of 20 maximum 6 times. So basically, if you have all 4 of these, in 3 seconds you are going to restore 24% of your health. Now that is not nothing. And now we test this inside battleground, basically the test battleground. Inside the battleground, the tooltip does not change. It is still going to restore 4%. So there is no strife debuff for this one. And now let's see how this one in action. I'll try to get hit by these NPCs, and then I'll see if I'll be able to heal very fast or not. Yeah, so I'm getting hit right now, and now I'm going to use wind walk. Perfect, this is perfect. Now I use wind walk. I do not see any heal. Let's try this again. Okay, so I'm going to get hit again. So they have hit me. I don't know how I'm slaying enemies. So perfect, they have hit me right now. So now I'm going to use wind walk, and there we go. 3403. 3403 is what? This life is 250k, and here it says 4% of your maximum life over 0.5 every 5 seconds up to maximum of 6 times. So that was a complete failure. This essence just says something, but it is not doing like that, whatever it says. So avoid using this one. There is again a bug with windwalk. Oh my god. So after that massive disappointment of windwalk, which actually gave me a headache, now let's move on to the last two ones, that is the Zephyrs and the Blade Dance. Both of them have similar type of eternal FX, eternal gear FX. So I'm going to cover one of them. I think the second one is going to be exactly the same. So basically for eternal gear, for Zephyr Surge, I mean, says deal 10% increased critical hit damage for each Zephyrs consumed. So how is this going to scale? Let's find out. So now I have two Zephyr Surge with me, and let's see, it's on the gear it still says 10%, but obviously like all other essences, the gear is totally misleading. Here you see it deals 20% increased kit damage for each Zephyrs consumed, and at a time you can have 3 Zephyrs. So with only 2 this is 20, with 4 it will be 40%, and at a time you can control 3, right? So 4 into 3, that's 120. So you can deal 120% increased critical hit damage for each Zephyr consumed. So that is a lot of damage. But now I'm not going to test this in the dummy, because in dummy I get all type of weird results, because I'm not sure how I feel that the dummy is not going to show me the right thing, because I'm not sure what is the armor and how much normal critical hit damage I'm going to do. So I think there's a lot of variables for this one. So with this I'm not going to test in dummy, but I think this one is pretty much straightforward. It is just a damage boost with the increased number of Zephyrs. So this is a huge damage boost, because 120% is a lot, right? So you have to see if how important is Zephyr Surge as a skill to you in your build. If it is not that important, you should leave this, and if it is like the centerpiece of your build, then definitely you should consider this. So those are all the 8 types of eternal legendary gears, and among them my definitely the favorite one is going to be the flowing strike, because of the shield that it provides, and shields are really OP in battlegrounds. Apart from this, the Stormfury one is also very good because of the increase in primary attack speed, because primary attack builds are doing amazing in making DPS type of builds for dungeons and raids. So definitely Stormfury and Flowing Strike are the top ones. Rolling Surf is definitely also in the top one, because I am using Rolling Surf. I think all of you are using Rolling Surf in almost all types of build. So definitely Rolling Surf is great. And for the Vortex one, most of us are using the one where the geysers emerge from the ground, and on that, like I tested in this video, it is not working. So I think I'll avoid Vortex, and I think I'm not so very fond of with the Cascade right now. But since I'm not using in my build, it is maybe if I make a PvP build, maybe it can be useful. But this is like this is not S tier like the other ones. And for definitely the worst one is going to be the Windwalk. It is not doing anything. Literally 3000 heal in PvP. It was very bad. This one is very bad. I think there's some kind of bug or something. I don't know how it is supposed to work in PvP. So that is that. And finally, Blade Dance and Zephyr Surge. Those are for damage. I usually avoid using damage multipliers in PvP. I focus on crowd control and other movability, and utility based skills. So I'm not sure if how I feel about the Zephyr Surge, but so I'll leave this Zephyr Surge and Blade Dance to you. So I hope this was very informational. If you disagree or if you want any further information on any other skills, let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.